good day today. I thought I'd take the car out and do a little video. I'm going to do more what it's like to live with a Kitcar than anything else. A bit windy today, it's probably picking up on the microphone. But it's a bit different than living with a normal car. So many changes to do. You're never really happy with what you've done. That, this, these, that, these, that. But then we've got the other end of things. I limited my budget. Being the first, I just didn't know whether this car could go on the road. The IVA test is so strict in some ways, but you can build to the test and then, you know, get it on the road and go from there. So I couldn't just keep throwing money at it if it was going to be a very expensive paperweight. So a common question I get is obviously the cost to build one. Now, for me, I was the first one to build it as a customer from anywhere in the world. So you just literally get a chassis and a shell that people may have noticed, but you don't get any instructions. You don't get any other parts really. They're just token, like lights, etc., which were no use anyway, being left-hand drive from America. So it's down to you really. You can push this as far money-wise or as little as you want. So, I mean, to put it in perspective, what this owes me is I was having a look only the other day, and a new Ford Focus RS with all optional extras would cost you more than what this has cost for me to build this. Now, because you're running a kit car just at the weekends, it's not your day-to-day car, although I guess if you weren't worried about ground clearance, etc., you could definitely use it. It's a normal high mileage engine. The costs are, you know, very low. The tyres, they'll last me years. Probably they'll end up splitting before I run out of tread and need replacing. The maintenance stuff, it just comes from modifications really, where you're not happy, like I want to solve the exhaust system, I want to change the rear lights. It's a never-ending cycle, and because you built it, you feel that you want to put all your time and effort into it. You want to get it right, and you do see all the bad points. So for instance, I now want to change this mesh that I've done. I originally did it in Audi style, but now I want a tighter metal grille look to them, just to finish them off a bit better. Also the same up here as well, just to match. So what niggles really? Noises, 100% noises. Been doing my head in with this car. So I found the noises this week, which was good. And basically it was to do with the rear clam. So the rear clam I haven't fitted properly. I think that's obvious. The reason being, I'm one person. It's very hard to do the job by yourself, although I will be giving it a go shortly. What I've ended up doing is sticking rubber on bits to find out where the noises are coming from. And what it's actually done is even push the clam up a bit further, as you can probably see there. But what it has done is stop the noises. So it's just showing I need to redo that part and fit some rubber hoses to it, or rubber parts to it better. You'll find everything you do at least 3 times. So let's have a look inside to prove that point. So here I am onto my 3rd interior design. If anyone's seen the other videos, they'll see how basic it was, but the dash is finally getting there. I've got to do all the interior main panels again. Basically, they just don't fit like they did when there was a lot of cloth over the top, but I think the look is finally getting there, and you know, a good enough finish to warrant what the car deserves really. I've had to do the door cards to match again, so that's some more stuff, and obviously I've tidied up the roof area as well. Seats are much more comfortable than the first bucket seats, so that's good. But one thing I've noticed now tidying up the rest of the noises is I need to get in the door here and start clipping all the cables to the side, because they're beginning to make noises as well. I think when you're building these, you have to set your expectations realistic. Being the first, I probably wanted a better finish than it was capable of. I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the skills. I'd always wanted to build a car, so before I'd done this, I'd literally changed some brakes and spark plugs. I always get the question, would I do it again? I wouldn't build a second one, but I'm happy I did the first, and anyone considering doing it and pushing themselves, is definitely good to do. It took me 10 months to build it to pass the IVA test here in the UK. That's from a bare chassis. It was about 650 hours, so it's a lot of time just to even get to that level. We're talking no paint, interior, very basic quality, but the build of the car itself, good. So it can be done. I mean, that was most weekends and evenings.